Tojin Janjan, the Lonaro Dam, Mabamala Jija Gambo, Pamodraba Javan Dugomba, Gajulama Nanja, Donandana Zera Donja, Lama Lava Jesus, Lozayan Janzong Alava, then the Donjan Gala. Good morning. Okay, so today I teach in Buddhism. So what is the Buddhism, and then also how to practice. I teach on there. So what is the Buddhism? I think we need to know on there. So actually the Buddhism is a religion, but in this day many masters and scholars, they say Buddhism is not only a religion. Buddhism is of course religion, and also Buddhism is science, and then Buddhism is the how to say philosophy, and then in the Buddhism instructions, that means the practice Buddhism. So they make 3 different classifications. But we need to know that whether we practice science of Buddhism, or we practice philosophy of Buddhism and instruction of Buddhism, everything is the cause of the happiness in this life, and everything cause of our future Buddha. So that doesn't matter if you think, we practice Buddhist science, science of Buddhism, then this is only like a modern knowledge. So there has no benefit for the future Buddha. If you think like that, then don't worry about that, because I already mentioned it. We practice science of Buddhism, still it is cause of future Buddha. But basically we have to understand that in Buddhism has 2 classification. That is in Tibetan practitioners practice with them. Those are the Vajrayana and then Mahayana. Actually, Vajrayana is including Mahayana, but we make 2 classifications because the way of the practice. So first, the Mahayana tradition. This is the Tibetan Buddhist practitioners' practice. And Vajrayana tradition is also Tibetan Buddhist practitioners' practice. And not only Tibet, there are lots of the practitioners of the Buddhism, they practice both of them. So this both of them is very important. to the future Buddha. Uh, for example, the Mahayana tradition. Usually we say that Mahayana, a vehicle of Mahayana. So that term, uh, the we in this case we need to purify lots of emotions. For example, desire, anger emotion, and jealous, and arrogance, and ignorance. Those emotions are we need to purify uh, during the practice of Mahayana vehicle or Mahayana tradition. So, in that way, when we practice on there, then, for example, we meditate on shamatha, then we control the thoughts. For example, if we are angry, then we try to reduce this angry emotion. And if we are desire with someone, and then we meditate on that body, we use that body object of meditation, and then we perceive different ways. For example, this body is impermanent and not like a beautiful. There's no way to attachment. Sometimes we think like that. And sometimes before these emotions arise in our mind, then we purify. So this is the how to practice Mahayana tradition. And during the Vajrayana tradition, then looks like we accept those emotions. For example, we accept anger emotion, we accept the attachment, and we accept arrogance and ignorance, so on. So it's little different. But accept means how to accept. That is very important. Just we say, oh, let we do, let us follow with our emotions. For example, if I'm angry, then I say, oh, I'm follow with my angry emotion. If I say it like that, then a little bit it's funny, right? Because this is not exactly how to practice. This is just normal activities. So that's where how to accept means we have to dissolve those emotions in our mind. That means we accept in Vajrayana practice. For example, if I'm angry, then that moment for what? For example, if I am angry with one person, and then I follow with this angry emotion, and then I start to harsh word. Maybe I act and bad or something. I do bad. My speech use the harsh word in my mind, and then it's completely negative motivate with that person, and it bad my body. Maybe I did harm for activities. So those are in the daily life. We have happened often happened like that. But Vajrayana tradition, that moments for example, if I am angry with someone, and then we need to know this angry emotion is wrathful deities. For example, my angry emotion is wrathful deity. Uh, yeah, this Vajrayana tradition actually is a very essential practice. But this is a more secret practice and not that much like public talks. the Vajrayana tradition is not that much uh, public talks because mm, if we talk too much on there, uh, someone uh, mm, think, oh, it is open, we have freedom, we can do everything. If people think like that, and then sometimes people do wrong thing. Uh, so if they did the wrong thing, then they have not good result. For that reasons, we don't share in the public uh, clearly, specifically. And another is someone think, oh, this is wrong activities. There's no what is it? Because they don't know details. For that reasons, oh, Vajrayana practice is it's wrathful, serious, and also it's not so good. If people think like that, then they have a wrong view. So that's why uh, we don't want to share in the public uh, clearly about the Vajrayana tradition. And also, mm, uh, uh, there are some rules and regulations to practice Vajrayana tradition because it is relevant with your own practice, how much levels you are. So if your levels are higher, then you can practice on there. Especially you need fundamental of this practice. So today perhaps you are confused on there. Perhaps you know almost, but at least in your mind has a question due to the I little bit introduce on there. That is very good, very good. If in your mind has before your mind is just like a clear, nothing to any single words of the Buddhism in your mind, then still you are so far to your future Buddha actually. That is, I do not discriminate between the Buddhist and the non-Buddhist. Of course, I can't do that. If I do that, I am wrong, because basically you have Buddha nature. I have Buddha nature, so we have no different. And you are a human being. I am human being. So there is no difference. And you understand what people say, and you understand what should you do. So I know same, and we have no different. So if I make different, that is, I am wrong. Basically, you have a seed of compassion. You have a seed of bodhicitta. Bodhicitta means altruistic love and altruistic compassion. And you have a Buddha nature. So, for example, I can respect to you, but I cannot look down because you have such a special thing. So that's where in order to, I cannot discriminate between the Buddhist and Buddhist, between the non-Buddhist and Buddhist. But what I can tell you is, for example, if I do not, for example, today, me or some other who introduce in Buddhism, if they do not introduce Buddhism, for some circumstance or some situations, it's very, very possible before you never heard Buddhism, right? For example, Buddhism is like a water, right? Water. Uh, mm, you are like a flower, flowers. So if I say, oh, flowers are not flowers, then I am wrong. I'm not right. You are flowers. But then, what I can say is, oh, flowers need water. Without water, then they not well stay beautifully. So that I can say. So Buddhism is like a water. You are like a flower. So that's where you have such a beautiful colors. You have such a, in order to you have lots of wonderful things with you. So then it's very possible you are not close with water. So today I bring here water. And this water is not hot water. This water is not ice water. This water has no chemicals. Make sense? So this water is pure water. This pure water, how I can bring with me? I studied from lots of wonderful gurus. Gurus, maybe you know, right? You know. And then today, I offer you this water. I am not always a gardener. Your wisdom is your gardener. So your wisdom use this water to this beautiful life of a flower. So let us know through this way. Me too, same. For some reasons, I was grow in this tradition of Buddhism. That's where today I am stay here, and then I teach to you. But it's already Buddha said that we cannot judge people by people. So that's where I do not think I'm perfect. Especially I'm a perfect than you. I cannot think. Why? Because I cannot judge your mind. I cannot judge your qualities. Perhaps in this over group and someone who listen these teachings, it's possible there are many bodhisattvas. Bodhisattvas means who in previous life they practice altruistic love and still they are on this practice. They are we call the bodhisattvas. Altruistic love, later I will tell a little bit on there. So that's where I cannot judge your minds, but for the circumstance, or some of you is very, very possible the new practitioner or maybe it's first time to heard about Buddhism. So that's where today I a little bit try to make sense you. And I go back a little bit on the subject of the Mahayana and Vajrayana. If it is still not clear after my teaching, then you can ask me. If you are disagreed on there, you can debate with me. Really, the religion means we need freedom. Without freedom, then we have lots of problems. So, you, whether you practice the religion or especially Buddhism or not, it is in your hands. Or you want to practice or not, it is in your hands. But from my side, uh, I wish may you be happily. May you always be happy. May you become Buddha. That is my wish. Also, may you become rich. May you have good health, wealth, everything. That is I can do. And for why? For why? Or if you say, oh, may you become rich, because that next maybe you help me. If I expect like that, I am not pure practitioner of Buddhism. And the second is, oh, may you be happy. For why? Oh, then if you are happy, then you not harm me, harm all me. If I expect like that, that is also wrong. So what I can think is, may you be happy, always happy, and may you become Buddha as soon as. I can do that. That is how to practice on bodhicitta. And you are, for example, in this world, lots of countries and lots of people. Among them, for example, due to you and me, today we have here, we have a golden opportunity to talking about the Buddha and practice on the Dharma. So that's where, then if you become Buddha, then what I can tell you is you completely liberate from suffering. You never heard suffering, number one. And number two, and then you have lots of the powers. These powers are the power of compassion, power of altruistic love, power of realizations of the Buddha nature phenomena. So for that reason, in order to you become like a sun, like the sun, for getting warm and to the living beings, you become like the moon, for remove the loss of darkness of the ignorance. And also then that's where so you become Buddha. There's a mutual benefit, not only between you and me, between you and the living beings. There are countless of living beings. So that's where I I do aspiration. You become Buddha, and may you always be happy life. So that is my aspiration. Okay, if I do aspirate like that, maybe aspirate, I'm not sure it's right or wrong. Oh, thank you. So then my responsibility is how to practice on there. That is very important. You need to know, and I want to tell you. For that reason, I'm stay here. And then, if you don't know, and not only me, just I pick up me here in front of you, I'm here. So, otherwise, there's lots of masters, lots of teachers, great teachers of the Buddhism. So, if they do not teach, you do not learn. You don't. In order to you not learn, you do not learn, and teachers do not teach. Then what happened is, then in this samsara, we call the samsara. Samsara is the Sanskrit. So cycling exists. That means cycling exists. Cycling exists just like a cycling like this. It's no problem. But with what? For example, engines, cars, maybe inside of car have like that. The tires, right? Tires, cars tires. They are like this, cycling round of like this. This is the power of the maybe light or what? It's engine. Similar, we are cycling exist in this world. The power of bad karma. If we do not practice Dharma, the power of bad karma move us cycling. And then what happened is, then we have lots of suffering. We have three sufferings, basically. The suffering of suffering. The suffering of suffering is, last year I lost my job. This year I get some cancer or something. Get seriously sick. Or yesterday something happened with my father, and today something happened with my mom. Or this morning headache, but right now my knees is so uncomfortable. So those called suffering of suffering. Suffering of suffering is double suffering, suffered double. Then sometimes triple. So that is called suffering of suffering. And then the suffering of changing. Suffering of changing. That means momentarily we are okay. Oh, this morning sun is such a beautiful, weather is such a beautiful. But this afternoon what will happen, we're not sure. And last year, my job is so good. It's fantastic. My job is such a wonderful. And then this year, what will happen, we're not sure. And kind of lots of this thing. And this morning, I'm so well, so good. But right now, not sure. Kind of this is changing because impermanent. So this is the changing of suffering, or suffering of changing, maybe same sentence structure, right? So we have this suffering, two of these sufferings. And then third, this suffering is, it's very details. It's so due to these sufferings. Then third, these sufferings is pretty hard to figure out. Pretty hard. So, because this is it's like a prevent from the over center of the head to the center of the feet. Between there have this one suffering. And also whole life, since first time to rebirth in this world and until we will die, between there always have this suffering. This suffering is, in order to, if I try to clearly make sense for you, Actually, in philosophy forms, they have different definitions, but it's pretty hard. So, in briefly, this suffering is a cause of suffering. Basically, that is cause of suffering. The cause of suffering, why? Because uh, we have this suffering, and then suffering of suffering and changing of suffering easily erase on there. For example, some seeds has under the ground, then if this get some circumstance, it's easy to grow those plants. So similar like that. So these three sufferings, the power of these three sufferings, then they make cycling exist. We are exist in this world. Then these three sufferings move us. Whether we say, oh, no need these three sufferings, we can say, also we can do. If we can't accept these three sufferings, we can do. How? By the way of the Dharma practice. By the way of Dharma practice, we can say no need these three sufferings. Because the bad karma, these sufferings comes from bad karma. If we stop to do bad karmas, then good karma will come. Then bad karma made by three actions. The speech. That is just philosophically, scientifically, or due to the experience. We figure out. If we use a harsh word with one person, 90% we show that person, whether if this person is a bodhisattva or special, then it's a special. Special is a special. Otherwise, 90% sure that person repeat bad words. If this not directly use bad words, he or she act bad actions. So that is the karma means like that. Karma means what we do is happened. We say, hi, good morning. You are look so nice, so kind. That is sweet words. This result, people reply good actions. Or also it makes happy others' mind, That is good, bad speech. And then by the body, if we take care of others' life, if we take care of others' life, then this result is others also take care of us. And for that reasons, we can be healthily. Lots of benefit in order to with physically. And then there's one king. The king is actually this time we do not use that much. I heard in Bhutan still have a king. In England there has a king. Some countries have king systems. Otherwise, in many it's centuries ago there are king systems. So that's why in Buddhism, in Tibet also have Tibet is actually king system. Tibetan was king system. No, we don't have that. So that's why the king says they have a lot of power, right? So for that reasons we use king. So now I use that king. There is a king. This king is not outside of our body. This is inside of our mind. So that is mind. Mind and motivation, what is different? Motivation means mind is action. We call that motivation. And mind is basically, I think, verb or noun, either fun, I think. So our mind sometimes acts in order to we have a good motivation. Result is good. This result is good. How we know? Only with our body we figure out. Only means easily by the our body. If I am unhappy, that affects to my body. Because of karma. My mind and my body has karma. Karmically relationship. And my mind and my students has karmically relationship. My mind and my teacher has karmically relationship. My mind and my colleagues and my environment has relationship. So that's where, in briefly, I try to make sense on there. Your mind and your body has karmically relationship. For that reason, your mind is happy, then is your body has automatically health. This is you know actually. Sometimes you think too much, then headache. Is it? And sometimes you already have some problems with shoulders or somewhere, head or somewhere. Then you pay attention too much on there. Then this suffering or this problem is more effect to your body, more suffering or something. If you just, forget it, that means don't do too much. Pay attention on there. There's sometimes no problems. There is a story. Some stories and examples we don't want to research on there, okay? If we research on there, these examples are for the sake of make sense. Whether it's possible some story is not true. It doesn't matter. But they are help to us to understand. That's where once upon a time, actually this story is in Dharma teachings I have like that. That's where I bring it. There is a maybe one boy, he has a mother. They stay together. And one day, actually the Tibetan marriage is arranged marriage. Arranged marriage before. Right now it's changed. So this mother invited one lady to be her son's wife. So they married. And then her son and this another lady, they married. And they stay together. But this son take care always take care to his mom. But he often need to go outside for the sake of business. He is a businessman. And then he often go and then comes back, go and comes back. Like that happened. But after he married, then his wife stayed with his mom. And then he requests to his wife, please take care my mom as me, same as me, same as what I did. Then his wife promised, yes, of course, why not? I will do, you don't worry. He promised with him. And then his mind is completely happy, and then he went out. Unfortunately, his mom getting sick. That sickness is about the eyes. The eyes sometimes some illness. I don't know recently have that or not. In order to this illness, in all everywhere see a lot of like a hairs, small piece of hairs, and sometimes in the through the sky it's like a fall down many kind of the hairs like that. So she got sick like this, and then that lady often feed her, give her food, like a rice and something. But every time she see in the bowl lots of hairs with food, then she is unhappy. Oh, after my boy left, then she did a lot of harmful act to me. She did a lot of harmful. She don't like me. She does not like me, and she thinking like that. And then one day, of course, her son came back. And then she told to him, your wife is so bad. She did like that and that. Then he upset. Oh, she didn't. She broke her promise. Promise, and oh, she did a lot of bad things to my mom. Then he said, Mom, don't worry, I will do since from today. And then he started to cook, and then he feed to his mom. But again, she see these hairs in the bowl. Then she thought, oh, my son is also followed his wife. He also become very bad. Then she is very upset. But then she said, she told to him like that. And then he knows, oh, this is her mind and her sickness. So this sickness is the object of here not exist in that bowl, right? But only her mind. After then, the medical check with doctors, and then she recovered. After she figured out, wow, that is my mind. So sometimes there is no object, but mind make a lot. And then through this way, seriously sick, got us sick. So that's why mind is all powerful in the wrong way. In the right way also too. Some masters, some practitioners, what they see is, oh, ladies, you are the female Tara, female Buddha. Boys, you are the male Buddhas, Yadam deities. They directly see, and they see environment. Oh, it is pure land. Oh, wherever I see, there's full of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas. There's no ordinary life. Because they change their mind, they see lots of those things. That's why I already did not give you 100%, it's 90%. It's 10% someone 24 hours, 24/7, they have a pure perception. That's why kind of those people, if we use a harsh word, that is become instructions and good words, sweet words. Make sense? Someone totally, they have pure perception. They always look so good. They have no enemies. They never see any bad things. That's why that is also comes from their mind. GBI, they see the GBI is pure land. because of mind. And that's where we figure out by our mind. Sometimes we stay here, oh, this is so nice place, it's so quiet, tranquility, so peaceful and so nice. Sometimes, oh, it's so windy, and there's no water, so hard to get water. Water means rain or something. Not only GBI, I mean it is like a desert, right? Desert, no green plants. So that is also mind makes it. With one life, maybe stay here for a few years. That moment, lots will change in the mind. So that's where I say your mind is king. So your mind make karma. And you have good motivation, then your result is happiness. You are beyond of suffering. Your mind is, or your motivation is bad, then result is bad. Then lots of these situations have with us. So that's where when we practice Buddhism or we start Buddhism, we need to know karma. Karma. So these who tell us, Buddha tell us, oh, you have karma. Who introduced Buddha? Actually, 2,600 years ago, he physically he left this world. But his teachings are still exist here. So he says that the karma. But if before Buddha came in this world, we have a karma or not? Yes. That's where Buddha's teaching is truly and manifestly exactly what we have, he taught us. He don't make any exaggerations. And then also Buddha say you have Buddha nature. So you all become Buddha in the future. He tell us, he taught us. But before he came, we have that or not? Yes. Whether he teach or not, whether he introduce or not, we have karma and we have Buddha nature. But without his teaching, then similar, I already took example, flowers without water. So we are ready to dry up. So that's where Buddha help us to introduce your Buddha nature and your great karma. And then we examine ourselves. For example, I check by myself. Sometimes, for example, right now, if I ask by myself, hi, do you need happiness or no need? Happiness or suffering? My answer is, yes, I need happiness. Okay, then if you need happiness, then you need good karma. Oh, yes, sir. Or yes. And then I ask, if I need a good karma, how I want to do? How I will do? Or how I'm going to do? Oh, if you need good karma, then you practice. What is this? And how to practice? Oh, this is a Dharma, and how to practice, you are following two paths. Mahayana vehicle and Vajrayana vehicle. Oh, yes. So if I follow Mahayana vehicle, how I will do? Okay, then you do the, first you need bodhicitta in your mind. So we need bodhicitta. Bodhicitta means, the definition of bodhicitta is it's very what to say, simple, very simple. Only you take good motivation with others. When we see, oh, may they become happy, that's all. When we drive, somebody go up, oh, may they, he or she be happy, that's all. We go to restaurant, many people eating and something. Whether we say hi or not, hi, hello, if we can say we have time or others people also have a time or not, or interesting or not, it doesn't matter in your motivation, just may they be happy, that's all. If you go to the Safeway and you go to the another store, then you in the town, wherever you go, you think, oh, may they be happy, that's all. This is the or how to say, the original Buddhist. And then compassion. Compassion, for example, if you go to hospital, then we see many people sick there. So then it's automatically have something in the mind, right? That is called the compassion. We see people getting suffering, getting sick in the hospital or somewhere, then it's some arise in the feeling. That is compassion. But the definition of compassion is, may they liberate from suffering. This motivation we call the compassion. So in Buddhism, the psychology, the system of psychology in Buddhism, they have talks about the mind and the mentalities. These are very important to know which part. Or right now my compassion, this is my compassion or my bodhicitta or my wisdom or my anger or my what, we figure out. Then we can easily fix from there. So anyway, the compassion and bodhicitta. And then this bodhicitta, you act through this way, then slowly grow, increase this bodhicitta. Then what you think is, oh, as soon as they become the Bodhisattva and Buddha, and your motivation is getting bigger and bigger. So Mahayana, why I tell you that, but actually that's I repeat, not created by myself. Maha means great. Yana means the system. The system. So this vehicle. Vehicle means we have big truck, big car, then it can take or carry a lot of things, right? Similar, during the Mahayana, Maha means first we want to make bigger and bigger our motivation. And then Yana, that moment we really act on there. We, for example, cars they carry something. For example, you drove here, but actually your cars carry you here. Do you accept? Your cars carry you here. I'm not sure the words is okay or not. Otherwise, in order to that, without your car, maybe you cannot come here today. So similar, the way of this Mahayana tradition, you moved where? First, on the first level of the Bodhisattva, you become Bodhisattva there, and second level is you become Buddha. So Mahayana tradition lead you there, or carry you there. So if you want to do there, if you drive here, your car need gas. Similar, if you want to go the level of Bodhisattva or level of the Buddha, then your your guess is the bodhicitta, good motivation. You have good motivation, then you are always relaxed. You have no anxiety. You have your anger has no opportunity to rising up from your mind, and other some bad emotions has no opportunity to grow. That's one. Second, Vajrayana. The Vajrayana practice is with one life, with one body and one life. You can go directly Pure Land. Pure Land, the Buddha stage. You can go means you don't want to move your legs. You need to move your mind. So Vajrayana practice, this is very important. Right now we have this golden opportunity. So otherwise, most of the time, maybe you heard like that. Oh, the practice Buddhism is, of course, for the future Buddha. But became Buddha is always a future. That's why I also use future Buddha, right? The future has two different, right? One feature is long distance. Another feature is later moment of this moment, next this moment. So that's why let us know that. So when you practice Vajrayana practice, one life and one body, with or within, I'm not sure. Within, I think with one body and one life, you become Buddha in order to. If I just say like that, then I need proof. If I without proof, then it's hard to trust on that. Without trust, it's difficult to act there. Without act, there's no result. So my proof is this behind of me, there's one Tanka picture, Malarepa, Yogi Malarepa. He become Buddha with one life and one body. One body and one life. One life means, usually we say one life means since we start to birth from mother, and when we die, that's we call one life. But in the Buddhism, one life means from here, mother gives us birth, and then we die. After we die, there's another stage we call Bardo, limbo, one between stage of the another life and then that. But that moment already changed our body, but one life, because it does not take another life. So that's where that is called one life. One body means then, since we are our parents established our body in mother's womb, start from there, and one day it's our body and mind separate. After then, body maybe dissolve into the earth or dissolve in fire or water, whatever. That is one body. The limit is like that. So, with one life, with one body, we can become Buddha. So we have this definition. The proof, Yogi Malarepa. Still there are lots of. Buddha teaches Dharma in India, and he become Buddha in India. And Malarepa listened this Dharma teachings in Tibet, and he practiced in Tibet. He become Buddha in Tibet. You are practicing in United States, and you become Buddha in United States. So I already said there's no different places. no different the men and women, or no different, be Buddha. So that's where, or if you think, oh, I am maybe too late because 30, 40 years I did a lot of wrong things. No, remain my life maybe few decades. In these few decades years may not enough to be Buddha. If you think like that, don't worry. Yogi Mulareba, he made it actually with a whole life. That is the writers make exaggerate, or if I use that, or writers make it more, make higher and higher. How long is not important. How clear, how much pure, that is important. So Mulareba total he retreated around 9 years in the mountainside. But before he before he meditated, he did a lot of mistakes. So non-virtues, we call the non-virtues, or usually we call them mistakes. Mistakes has not good qualities. Non-virtues has not good qualities. Yes. But there is a only quality. What else is this? That quality is we can purify. So that's why what we did till now, wrong things by the body, speech, and mind, but still we have opportunity to purify them. Okay? So don't worry. We are not too late. We are not late. Really. So since from today we progressive. That is honestly not only my suggestions. Because this Buddha taught us like that, and all the Nalinda masters taught us like that, and all the Tibetan masters and around the world who have higher realizations, higher experiences, all of the same speech, same words. So they tell us. So let us keep happy. That's really important. For what? Usually keep happy is important, but especially we think, oh, I have this golden opportunity. For example, you all have, if we compare with others' life, you have a lot of great things with you, except Dharma. For till few days, few years ago, or maybe few months ago, or few days ago, but you have Dharma now. In this world, what good things, or every good things are with you. So you keep happy, and for example, you need wealth, you have wealth. You need health, you have health. And then you need friends, you have friends. And you have good circumstance, you have. And then finally you need Dharma, so you have that. So Dharma, that's where by yourself you can encouragement by yourself. This is not just you make it, it is truly you have that, and then ready to practice. Whether you have no plan to be Buddha, doesn't matter. Only this life, if you need happiness, that still Dharma is really important. I don't try to make you Buddhist actually. That is my not that is my not motivation. In order to that is not my responsibility. Why? If you become Buddha, then what you know? If you become Buddhist, oh, the population is getting more and more. Then what reason is that? If I thinking by myself, especially Buddha already say, don't make it the Buddhist of them due to your power and something. But if you have interest in aspiration, enthusiasm, then happily I help you. That Buddha I love. Otherwise, the different ways I try to make you Buddhist. No. If you are practice Hindu, I rejoice. If you practice other religions, Christianity or any kind of religions, I rejoice because you practice compassion and so on. But if you love to become Buddhist, and then how? That moment I have responsibility. Oh, you do that and those. And then I introduce how to go step by step in the Buddha stage. That is, I can do it. And then, but right now I am in the form of Dharma. And then by this way, I have freedom to teach how about this. And then you have freedom to learn how about that. So by this way, right now what I can tell you is, if you need happy life, you definitely practice Dharma. Why? If you have $1,000, $1,000, you expect $2,000. $1,000 cannot make happy you because you are suffering with $2,000 because you have too much desire with this. That's why you are not happy with $1,000. But someone have $100, they have no $1,000, $1,000, but they are happy with $100. But someone have no money, but someone has money, but they are someone who have no money, they are happy. Who have money, they have lots of the anxiety, worry, and lots of competitions or lots of those things. So that's within the social activities. Dharma, where the thinking on the Dharma is very important. Why this person happy with $100, or why those people who have no money still happy? Because contentment, satisfy, believe karma. And also someone physically have serious sickness, and physically they have lots of obstacles. They are still happy. But someone no suffering physically, basically kind of seriously suffering, but they have lots of tensions, lots of suffering. Why? Because someone who have suffering with their body physically, they trust karma. So that is come from Dharma. Oh, there's one story in ancient master. He stay in the cave. He meditate. Sometimes he gets sick. He got sick. Then what he says? Oh, I'm getting sick, but I'm happy. Why? Because it reduces my bad karmas. I get sick for a reason is I did some wrong thing. If I ate too much sweet, then what happens? If I did not eat sweet, still someone say you have a sugar disease or something, diabetes. It's not true, right? Scientifically, in order to philosophically or scientifically, but it take a lot of the sugars and some, then they become like that. So that's where, or I ate lots of sweet. That's where I have diabetes, right? Yeah, diabetes. So then I did that, but then it's purify my bad karmas. They think like that, then it is true. So that's where that master said that. Oh, if I got sick, it's no problem. It's purify my bad karmas. And sometimes then, of course, he not always got sick. Then sometimes he are healthy. He was healthy. Sorry, he was healthy. Then he said that, oh, I am not sick. I'm happy because if I'm healthy, then I can practice more and more. So that's why either way, he is happy. Because he believes karma, he trusts karma, right? So in these social activities, and also be patient, understanding each other's. Oh, he or she make those mistakes. Oh, it's possible human being, in the human being's mind have lots of emotions. Sometimes it's possible, right? And easily accept those things. And sometimes then we use the wisdom. Oh, this person often made these mistakes because he or her ignorance. So it is ready to give some advice. Then give the advice to that person. So during the social life, we can peace of the mind and keep harmony. And those of the things, if we follow Dharma and details how to eat food, actually you are similar, you practice very well, but how to eat morning, then lunch, how about the dinner, then how many times sleeping, how to do everything is very details. So if you know Dharma, it makes a lot of help. But you know everything is deal with your practice or not. That is also important. If you don't know how to practice, then you say, I want to practice. Then there's one example. Without arms, but still you say you climb up on the mountain. Just your aspiration, just your wish, but hard to climb up the mountain. But you have lots of knowledge. If you do not use them with your life, then there's one story. Only that story, last talk. So one person, this story is not true, but it's a little funny. One person who is very lazy, and then every day his mom give feed to him. But one day, his mom need to go somewhere, and then she make a bread, and then make it like a mala. Everybody know mala, right? Similar like that, and then hold the bread here, and then easy to just eat like that. No need to move arms and so on. And then then his mom left. Then he just eat this bread. Unfortunately, the bread she make a hole and then hook here, right? He ate here, of course. Then it's a hole is broken, and then this bread, half bread, fall down on the ground. But he is so lazy to bring up this. He just stay. Then he is hungry. Finally, he how to say straight. He died. Yeah, without food. Similar. Sometimes we know a lot. We have Dharma teachings, Dharma knowledge, But if we don't practice, then also hard. That's where learn with practice is step by step. Sometimes you are like a tree. You don't know how to you grow. So I mean, you practice step by step. Also, people are hard to see your behavior characters, but due to your practice, that is nature, that is karma. You develop, improve. One day you totally improved, then you know that, and people know that. Similar tree. Some trees we plant tree. We cannot say each and every day the inches, how many inches grow. If we measure, then maybe we know. But due to by our eyes, we can't figure out. But one day it's completely grow, then we know, right? So similar like that. So thank you so much to come to this Sunday Dharma introduction or introduce. My English is so good, no, not good. So maybe it's good. Right now I say my English is so good. God or Buddha maybe use my tongue. Tell that. And you are really wonderful. Make this having this golden opportunity. For reasons you are come here, then I introduce the Buddhism, and through this way we all did a good job. And I hope and wish, and then you can improve lots of your practice. That is my how to say highest or suggestions. And then perhaps you have some questions right now. I of course try to answer on there. And if you have no questions, and then also then you can go stupa and then be happy Sunday. Okay, thank you so much. And then I have questions, anyone? Any kind of questions, I will try answer. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So you told me once before, don't doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And this may not be the place to go into that, but
Oh.
give me a little bit more about the importance of not doubting.
Uh-huh. Yes, we don't do not or don't. Same, right?
Yeah, same.
We do not we don't doubt with the karma. Oh, karma is have or not. This is also if we more trust with karma, that has more benefits. Because karma is real exist with us. But so there till now kind of we are sometimes doubt, sometimes we don't care about that. That's why we didn't know karma is with us. But right now we don't doubt with karma. Oh, karma is really exist. We don't think, oh, this is only Buddhism system. So this is system of our life. Karma is system of our life. So don't doubt with karma. And then one thing is the view of the some practice. Today I don't teach on, didn't teach on there. View is emptiness. And we called sometimes Zopa Chimbo. You already maybe heard about the Zopa Chimbo's Dzogchen teaching, and you already heard about the Mahayana teaching, and also you heard maybe Madhyamaka teaching, and in order to, they are including emptiness. The emptiness is the highest view, and we called the different names on there. So we don't doubt with that. don't doubt with this means if you doubt with this, then uh, it make a distance between your realization and the emptiness. It's make a distance because your doubts get a lot of helpers, and then it's very possible you are lead different ways. So that's where, for example, I am selflessness, and then we can check how to selflessness and how to understand selflessness, how to practice on that. That we can do, but don't be doubt on that. And then all these phenomena are emptiness. So those part we don't want to doubt. And if we don't doubt with them, everybody know there's Buddha, Amitabha Buddha's Tanka. This is new. This year we hang up there. This Pure Land is which called he is Western direction of the Buddha. So his Pure Land is so easy Pure Land. Easy Pure Land means, for example, if India to come United States or India to go Nepal, it's big difference. India to come United States is so difficult to get visa. India to Nepal is so easy. Similar, some Pure Land is so difficult to rebirth. But it's the pure, this Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land is so easy to rebirth. So his teaching, he said that if you have no wrong view, then you easily rebirth. His Pure Land. Yeah, so that's where that examples. So wrong view is a very, very how to say serious non-virtues. So someone say no karma, no Buddha, no these realizations. That is called wrong view. Or have not like this is doubt, right? So that's where we be careful, both of them. Mm-hmm. Very good question. Okay. Any else? That's all right. Okay. That's all. Thank you so much.